I can't trade with villagers until day 500, which means no access to mending for a long time. But there is another way. I can still get it from fishing. So, an easy fix. I want to build a fishing village. A full transformation of a nearby village into the perfect fishing paradise for me to fish up those enchanted books. Or, knowing me, I'll stop building and suddenly it'll just be day 500. And the first thing we've got to tackle is a path, as currently there is about 500 blocks of unpathed terrain between me and the village. But before we can get started with our path, we need to head up to the castle, where now that we have unlocked Enchanting, I definitely want to start using mushroom blocks, which means I need to do a little bit of enchanting. Oh, second one. Perfect. But I need a few more levels, and I haven't quite finished this room, but I have a minecart to take me down to my XP farm, where I don't need to spend a lot of time, as I'm already at level 28, just getting it back up to 30. And I had a thought about it, and instead of enchanting the new axe, since this one already basically has full durability, let's get a broken one enchanted instead, and just silk touch. I'd really like some unbreaking as well, so back down we go. To refill on a few levels real quick, and enchanting, perfect. Now just combining these three axes together to a nearly maxed out tool. And now to get to the task this tool was created for, gathering brown mushroom blocks to use in our path out in the dark oak forest. Not giving me flashbacks of anything explosive at all. I'm here. Oh! That dropped off at the house. I'm heading off in the opposite direction, out to the mangrove swamp region to restock on mud for the first time with an enchanted shovel. And it was much more pleasant than the unenchanted, not insta mining we have been doing in this world. And while my planning could have been better, as I'm yet again off towards the dark oak forest, as that's the nearest lush cave, and I need to restock on a good amount of rooted dirt, as I just love this blocking pathways. Now back at the house, let's slow down just a little, as I need to get some resources I already have crafted together, where I'm able to get nearly everything except mossy cobblestone, as I'm out of moss, so restocking on a few stacks of that. And while I lied a bit, I don't have enough wheat to craft all the packed mud I need, so I've traveled out here to the village we will be transforming, and no, I've already raided this. Right, bit of a journey down south then, to an unlooted village where I can steal all their hay bales. I'll come back with some fish one day, maybe, probably not. Back at the base, let's actually get started on constructing this nearly 500 block long path so that I can ride without any issues from my starter base to the fishing village. Starting off by clearing away a couple of blocks to make space for the path, which is a great start, but of course an even better start is bringing the path itself in, following the shape I've already created, where I'm using packed mud, rooted dirt, and brown mushroom blocks for the main path, with some coarse dirt mixed with mossy cobblestone around the edges to blend the path into the terrain. Continuing on down the valley towards the ocean, I went a bit back and forth if I was going to dig out a bunch of terrain for the path or create a cliffside bridge. In the end, I've decided to just run a floating path through this area, as I eventually want to come through and create a custom plains area. But that's future plans. For now, I'm all out of wheat, which means I'm out of packed mud. Luckily, in the time we built the path, the wheat field back at the starting valley has regrown for me to harvest once again, so that I can continue working on the pathway, finishing up the final floating stretch as I reach the bottom of the final hill. And I want the path to enter the village at the top of this hill, which means I need to do some digging to get a realistic slope in and not just a cliff like Minecraft villages does with their paths. But that's all the blocks my shovel can clear away at the moment, so I need to head back towards the castle. First to, of course, head down to the XP farm and get my levels back up to 30, so that I can get a new diamond shovel enchanted. Oh, no efficiency. Guess we'll have to combine it with my old shovel, so that I can continue to insta-mine dirt to clear away a few more blocks for our pathway to get us that final way to the village. where the only thing left to do is bring in the final stretch of the actual path. I'll definitely be back here at some point in the future to fix the terrain surrounding it, but not today, as there's a lot of fix up in that area, and I already have so much to fix over here as well. We are transforming a village, but it's going to probably be more of a tear down and rebuild than anything else, because the paths, I mean, why do we have a path going up over there? A lot of question marks. But so that we can work on that and bringing this pathway in from over here into the village, I need to get a few blocks put together. So back towards the starter house on our newly built path, where I quickly just threw together a few leftovers of the path, as I need to build more path, but I'm still literally all out of wheat and I need some more mud stuff, and my wheat field is still regrowing. So I'd like to add 2 more fields to my world, not just wheat, as will get a bit repetitive. So building up a small carrot field next to the stables to feed the horses, and a little larger wheat field behind the wheat storage, which is definitely bigger than the one I have, and this is gonna be really nice when that's all grown up. And while I was building that, not all of this is done, but let's get this field replanted as well. The majority of it is done. Not too shabby on the wheat here. Got another 30 stacks at least, and I'm definitely gonna need some more mud here soon, but let's stick around in this area for now, as I need to wait for more wheat to grow up. And I want to just grab down a few more deep slate bricks. Got to definitely start smelting a bit more cobblestone as well, and a super smelter maybe is something I should invest in, but we'll get there eventually. Looks like I've still got some acacia left over. I want to construct a few cliffs, which is why I'm grabbing some stone blocks here. And for that, I'm also going to need some more light gray wool. So let's get some of the sheeps here sheared. Need to do some caving as well. First, gathering up 2 stacks or so of pale moss. Then some tuff towards the bottom of the world. And on the way up again, some andesite to complete this small mining trip. Back up top, let's get the tuff here crafted down. Got the stone blocks in here, and nearly got everything we need now. I do, however, want to try something new with the terrain, and need a few payload logs for that. Still need some wheat, but I also need to get a few more blocks from some warmer biomes. First of all, some sand and sandstone from the desert, as I definitely want to bring in a beach by the village. And then, like I said earlier, I need to restock on a few more stacks of mud. Then back home, I had to wait a few minutes, but can finally harvest my old and brand new wheat field to get nearly 9 stacks of wheat without any incidents whatsoever. That's going to be great moving forward as well. For now, let's get these resources moved over to the village. And the first step for us will be to remove all of the houses. As well, Minecraft villages don't generate in the best way, and I don't plan to keep that much of the old village structure around, other than eventually building a house or two where there once was a villager house. Another thing I'm going to have to transform in this area is the terrain, and that means first clearing away the excess terrain currently covering this hillside, where I'm definitely starting to long for a beacon now that we have efficiency 5. But I definitely can't complain now that we have efficiency 5, making the progress so much faster. But both the pickaxe and shovel are about to break, and I definitely don't want to break the pickaxe, as that has my only mending book on it. So a quick horse ride back to the Strata Valley, where I'm heading down into the depths to my XP farm to repair my pickaxe and get back up to level 30. We can get that enchanted, and I do not want to combine those. That goes in there, and we keep this. Riding back over here now towards the village to continue tearing up the hillside to make space for my plan for this village, as I want to create a few different plateaus cascading down towards the water, where it's definitely looking a bit messy at the moment, but we are in the ugly phase of the project right now. To start moving away from that, I want to start building up some cliff faces where I have the cheese designed stone at the moment, using cobble, deep slate, pale oak wood, and acacia wood as our darker blocks, and from there just going through the tones to our brightest block, light grey wool. Where we are definitely on our way out of that ugly phase now, but we're not quite there just yet, as to fix up the rest of this terrain, I need to bring in the path that's snaking its way down the hill to the river's edge, narrowing it off a bit from the earlier path and creating a slope that you can still definitely pull wagons up, as they do need to transport the fish up this way to sell it. But having the pathway now coming through the entire village is fantastic. But we're reaching the bottom and it's a mess. And for that, I'm thinking we grab some tough bricks. I want to get some mossy cobblestone packed mud, deep slate bricks, mossy stone, some dirt, dirt and all of this. We're using that tough brick and mossy stone bricks. We can create a retaining wall at the bottom towards the river's edge for the fishermen to dock their boats against, and we will probably add in some wooden piers for smaller boats as well. But this is just a wall for now. We also need a floor where I want something similar to the path, but a bit more structured. So using mainly mud bricks, packed mud, and mushroom blocks, throwing in some dirt and coarse dirt along the edges to add some age to it. Where besides the river itself, I think we are past that ugly stage of this project now with the base terrain in. And we've already done so much, creating a 500 block path and terraforming this hillside without even building a single house yet. But before that, I want to slow down a little and head back to the castle. Right over to here and do some enchanting, and then combine, get a maxed fishing rod. And ooh, it's raining, which is the perfect time to do a few minutes of fishing. I'm hoping for a mending book, but didn't get one, but did get a name tag, which has reminded me I've got a name for our horse. And I also need to restock on food and get more blocks so that we can continue building the village. Before heading back to the valley, I did just sort through my chests here, and we had a ton of resources laying around that I can use to build the village. And we have way more that I need to bring on back home. But it's great that we got this many things sorted, because the journey out here is quite a long one. Just got everything sorted into the inventory, and the name I've decided to go with is Rumble, suggested by Lee, and I thought it was just a really cute name here for our horse. Ah, it feels right giving this guy a name. But back to the project now. Since I was able to check off so many items over at the village already, I don't actually need that much. But I do need to put together a couple more stone blocks, starting us off with some tuff. And then I am all out of a few different blocks, so I need to take the minecart here down into the caves. And I surprisingly don't need to gather either tough or deep slate, just restock a bit of granite and diorite. Ended up getting mostly copper, but I got all the diorite and granite I need at least as well. And speaking of copper, let's maybe sort that out real quick here, where hopefully we don't need to oxidize too many things. Need a few more trapdoors. I think I'm just gonna need one copper bar, and then oxidize a few blocks. Just let that oxidize down. Let's see here. Our wood supply is looking... yeah, okay, well, not great at all. I'm gonna need a bunch of pale wood. Also going to want some more dark oak, and I have one spruce sapling. Right. And I've sort of turned the little area behind my starter base to my tree chopping spot, gathering up some more pale oak, dark oak, and spruce. We're back down in the storage here. We can spend just a little bit of time crafting to get this into the blocks we need. That's looking really good there. As always, I'm, of course, out of string as well. And, well, I need string. And I do have a rudimentary spider farm, but it is pretty slow, and I have an idea on how we can speed it up pretty easily. And hopefully it doesn't take too long, as if we just make ourselves a new sword, get some lapis, and then we just need to roll a few enchants. Okay, haven't gotten looting. We got a sharpness 4 though. I'm just gonna hope to get lucky. 1 eternity later. Okay, that took far too long, and whoa! What? I mean, I don't want fire aspect or knockback, but I'll definitely take that. Okay, it was worth it. It was worth it. Right, with the new sword though, heading down into the spider cave to spend a bit of time at that rudimentary spider farm getting a stack of string. Back at the base, I need some foliage resources, so farming some of those outside my front door. Few more things now, and I realized something. I can grab this obsidian, because if we have a look at our day count, we are at day 200 and nice. Which means I've unlocked the Nether 19 days ago. So let's grab a gold chest plate, because I have a diamond helmet. And got my flint and steel. And I think I'm going to go right over here for now and create our nether portal. Super ugly, super temporary, so that I will be forced to move it. And I'm hoping for no basalt delta. That's not basalt delta. Ooh, I see soul sand. And well, I'm not seeing nether fortresses, which isn't great because my nether plans kind of revolve around nether fortress. But not to worry yet. I still need to do a lot of exploring. Need to get some soul soil though. I already have soul sand. Just need to get this one that I can't access in the overworld. Then I need to find some black stone. There is a basalt delta over here, or not. Okay, I thought those only spawned in basalt deltas. Never mind. Well, that's a bastion. I mean, it's not terrible. I'm also still not seeing any nether fortresses. Oh, I have such a good idea for a build with one. It's gonna involve a lot of digging, but we have basalt delta on this side. Oh, we got some warped forest over there. You know what actually would be really good to pair up with our pale wood? Bunch of quartz. We should probably grab that. We'll repair the pickaxe as well. Oh, and we can get redstone comparators now easily. Oh, I have ideas. I really want to get into copper golems and sort out some more automatic storage for the mine. Oh, that would be great. Oh, basalt delta those means we can get some of this. I don't need a lot. I literally just need like 4, I think. So I'm just gonna take that and head on out of here because magma cubes are dangerous. Just need that little bit of quartz first. All right, gather up some netherrack as well, and I think it's about time we head back to the overworld. Oh, I'm just bummed out by no nether fortress. Oh well, nothing much we can do about that. Let's get these items dropped off so that we can go and gather the final resource I need. Now, the thing I've been putting off, I need a ton of mangrove. So making my way over to the nearby mangrove swamp so that I can spend a good little while chopping these trees. And I quite like chopping trees in Minecraft. I think it's rather fun, but not mangrove. Definitely making an automatic mangrove farm in the future. And finishing up some crafting, moving on over to the village. We're finally ready to build. And I want to get started with the house here at the top, as I want to turn it into a little bit of a warehouse for us to move these chests into. And I'm realizing as we're over here, I never made any payload stairs. Luckily for me, I have just enough, I think. But I'm thinking some stone bricks, some stone, gravel. And for the foundation, I actually want to use soul soil. And I did forget blocks. They were still in the furnaces. Okay, back at the build site with all our blocks now. Let's start just creating a super simple floor here for us to work from. With that in, then take in one of the blocks here that I forgot, being our nether bricks, to start creating a foundation where we can have an opening there and another opening there. And I'm really trying to build a bit more diagonally because it just brings so much life into a village when not every single building is on the exact same axis. From this now, I want to have a little space for Rumble to live in while we're here. So I was thinking we go super simple with just a spruce door and some shelves, and then we can just section this here off a little bit with some of these. Need some temporary blocks here, just bringing this up into an arch and a little gate. Then the reason we've gathered all of these red blocks here is because I'm once again inspired by where I live. And having grown up on the west coast of Sweden, I've been around a lot of what we call fiskebodar, which are these classic red painted small houses with some white trims that most of you have probably seen. Where we'll get more of the white element in here in a bit, but I'm really loving this, and I'm really loving the idea of an entire little community here in this style. Before focusing on the interior though, I do want to finish that roof off, which does mean I need a bunch of quartz stairs and some slabs, where for the actual roof I want to use some mud brick, granite, and brick, where we can probably add in some age to all of this with some mossy cobblestone and some deep slate and tuff. Of course, first, that white trim being so important, I'm thinking we just bring this in right here on the edge, where I need to get some pale oak slabs, but trying to figure out the main roof here. Let's bring these main blocks out. A diagonal at this angle here is pretty easy. We just do something like that, and then we carry this pattern on. It's looking good, but it is turning night here, so I figured we just get a little sleeping nook in place, just for a place to pass the night. And if we take a step out here, I think that's looking really good for ourselves. I know that the overhangs or not is one of those things that a lot of people either like or don't like, and I kind of like no overhangs and overhangs. But I think for this village, we're gonna do no overhangs and see how it works out for us. But here on the inside, I was thinking we start figuring this space out. Try and get a few chests and such in here. Do a little shelf in the corner. Want to bring in a chimney there, so don't really have the space to do anything. And I wonder, do I have any oak trap doors? I do, because what we can do just to maximize storage here is bring in a little shelf in the middle with an extra... Oh, that's at the wrong way level. With an extra 2 chests. So in. Not sure what I did to deserve this. You guys have to be in my storage room. I know I placed barrels in here. Ah, that's my mistake, isn't it? Anyways, I moved everything in now and added in the chimney on the back. And I think the first house in the village is looking really, really fun. So I think we should create a second one now that we have a style and proper place to store our resources. Moving down the hill, just that, and constructing up the walls, roof, and chimney of the second house in this village. Where a little detail I've been throwing in here is a trim of white inside of the windows. I'd love to have it on the outside, but I couldn't figure out a good way to do it on the outside. So I've just added in some trapdoors or payload planks in the ones that don't have interiors. And you kind of get the effect of there being a little white trim to the window. It does make interiors a lot harder, but not impossible. And I might come back in the future and make some interiors, as I do want to bring in some lore into this village. And while probably not the lore that you are thinking of, I like to create lore in my builds by adding some sort of a purpose to it and telling a story with the build itself rather than writing something down. And I'd like for the person living in this house here to be a shepherd, where I'm creating a small little pen here, and I think we can just top these with some candles to add in a bit extra detail. But this will be a little sheep pen. Hopefully we can go find some sheep right away. Right, got a lead where... Oh, there's a sheep up there. Yoink. Found some wheat. We can just get these bred up ones, and we now have 3 sheep in the sheep pen. And you might ask, why have I made a shepherd in a fishing village? Well, because we need wool to create fishing rods and nets. So for a third house and profession, I want to create a netter's workshop just below the shepherd's house, creating a house at a 45-degree diagonal. Then to add to the word lore, a little outside workshop for the nether to work in. Also got this here on the front where we can hang a net from, but I've got a problem. I don't have any cobwebs, so I can't have any nets. And I need cobwebs. And I'm also pretty sure that I don't have any iron here, and I forgot shears. Well, good thing I need flint and steel anyways. Come on, Rumble, let's head back home. 1,000 years later. Got the flint now. Can just do that and the interior is looking great. Don't worry about that. Don't worry, I'm back to my classic way of not making interiors. I saw, I think, a little ravine sort of thing over here. Though there's a ravine, but it doesn't go down into maybe a cave. Yeah, big. Oh, perfect. No. Okay, we are good. Right, how do we get over there? Oh, I like this water cave. It's fun. Oh, diamonds. I'm not gonna care about those. Oh, I need some raw iron actually. This raw iron makes for perfect fish. Just have to trust me on that for now. Right, now to find cobwebs, and I'm in a disconnected section. Right. Oh, I think that's a spider spawner. Yep. Okay, yep. Overstack, definitely gonna be enough for us. Let's find our way back to the surface. Now it's raining now back at the surface, but using these here, we got one net coming in there, and then second one right here. With the netter finished up, I did realize I've built a few houses, but no house for fishermen to actually live in. I'm imagining that the other professions also fish while doing their tasks to make sure everything runs smoothly, but we do need some people living here that just fish. Which means we have our 4th little cute house here, and I realize I need to add in the concrete and probably light up the inside. At the back here, we have a little bit of space, and I want to create another little alternative food source for the village, that just because you don't only want to be eating fish. So I was thinking we can bring in a little potato field. As listening to stories from my grandparents and friends of theirs, I've heard a lot about how their parents would go out fishing in the early 1900s. They often ate potatoes, and I do remember them really emphasizing the fact that you cooked your potatoes in like a little pouch, and well, if the potato escaped said pouch, it was free to take from anyone. But back to Minecraft and away from the storytelling, I've been building houses up on houses, and I want to take a little bit of a break because we need to build a tree, and actually not just one tree but 4 brand new trees in the world. And if you are new around here, welcome, and also if you are enjoying, help us damn out and tackle that subscribe button and leave a like while you're at it. I always love adding a couple of trees around a project. It just fills out the space and gives a great vibe. Also gives me the motivation to wrap up the final building in the village for today. Down by the river, a crapot maker's workshop with a little wooden pier out the front. Another super common aspect of the small red huts around the west coast Sweden. But just looking really good down here by the water's edge. Or well, what water's edge, as it's mostly terrain left over from the village still. So working on removing away the weird floating bumps of terrain that has been generated and just widening and deepening the river a tad. And that's looking a whole lot better. Definitely want to fix this up even more, but that's a future project. For now, I want to bring in a boat because I couldn't make a fishing village without at least one boat, could I? Designed this boat a while back during Snarple's 72-hour build event, and I haven't had the chance to build it in a world yet, so here it is. And I've got these signs here on the back of it because it needs a name. Currently, it's just named W, apparently. So if you have any suggestions on the name for this boat here behind me, make sure to leave them down below. But it also feels a little lackluster with just one little boat in here. So I figured we'd extend out a bit of a wooden pier over here. A little run down here with some campfires. A few small boats here thrown in, as obviously we can't just have one big boat, and some crab pots as if they were loading them onto the boats to travel out. Should probably add one in the lake as well in the future, and well, when we open that up to get out to the actual ocean, I should probably add another one further out as well. But for now, I want to just decorate this little area here in the middle as well. It's empty. And I actually need to make a boat for myself as I need to go get some more blocks and not for my storage. Grabbed some extra food I had cooking up at the warehouse and a bucket of milk. Heading out to sea where I'm looking for an ocean monument. Which, there's one where I need this to just be a quick edit out. There's, oh, we already got mining fatigue. All right, well, drink one of these. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I have enough. I should have enough. Go! Ah! Oh no, I'm so dead if they shoot at me. Okay. Whew. We're alive, and we have 9 prismarine. Perfect. Just one more thing, and I'm out in this very, very lonely desert, as there is a mesa biome on the other side for me to get some red sandstone. Back at the village, I want to grab some chains and some spruce. Oh, and cauldrons and a glass bottle. And what I want to do is bring in, let's go 3 wide and 1, 2, and 3 more. And I want to bring in some supports here. Just create that, and then from this, if we take our chains and our I need the sandstone wall actually, as I'd like to just get that in there as a bit of hanging fish that's hanging to dry, and then I figure we'd get some cauldron under that just as if it's we're dripping down. And we can take a glass bottle and we can just fill this up a little bit, not all the way up, but as if it's filling up. And then this one obviously empty, and let's go ahead and create a second one, make it just a little taller, and we can also create it on the diagonal where we can hang a prismarine and a red sandstone for some other types of fish. Same again with the cauldrons underneath. I wasn't throwing a third one here just because it felt nice with having 3 of them. Now this is just the outer edges of this platform, which is still looking really bare, so I want to add in some extra life into the place with crates, pots, campfires thrown in all around, a little fish market stand where the villagers can get their fish from, and a wagon ready to transport fish off to other markets. I've also just got some raw iron here that I want to chuck in this one, and then we can chuck some iron and some raw copper over in this one. Just act as some fish in a barrel that's caught in that salmon. It makes sense. Also, do I have... Yeah, perfect. Let's just... Oh, well, I'm cooking it right away. Never mind then, we gotta do... Whoop. As I just like throw this on the campfire here inside of the fish market. Now there are just some final things left to fix up, such as the bottom of these cliffs where I want to bring in a little beach. Then I just want to run up and down the hillside to add in some coarse dirt and fill in the empty grass patches with some foliage to make the entire build and area feel a bit more completed. And it's actually insane how much just a little bit of foliage and coarse dirt around does for a project. Taking a step back from this and viewing this West Coast Swedish inspired fishing village now all finished up, I just have to turn on shaders and take a peek as well. And while I don't quite want to call this project a completed one yet, but I have spent about 100 in-game days working on it so far, so it's definitely completed for today. I do think some more houses would do it good though, and also the 2 villagers I trapped in here. I was thinking this could make for a perfect trading hall for fishermen villagers. And not to mention, while I was doing the terrain, I found something somewhere behind here. Oh, hi creeper, not you. And don't blow it up. Don't you dare blow it up. Okay, found a spider spawner, which means I can make a proper spider farm. So that's going to be great for the future. As always, thank you to all of my supporters, and thank you to you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.